say you'll feel better with time, but time alone can't heal this heart of mine. You can't go back, that's the only rule. But rules are meant to break when it comes to you. I saw time and tide slip by when I withdrew. I wandered far and wide without you, without you. How's it going, everyone? This is just a quick tutorial on my arrangement for Time and Tide by Ryan Elder from the season 7 finale of Rick and Morty. It's a really pretty song. I think the episode is like Fear No More. No spoilers, but it's just really funny episode. At any rate, the song was very pretty, so I figured I'd just arrange it and put a tutorial out for my arrangement. So let's quickly go through the chord progression and then the finger-picking pattern. The finger-picking pattern kind of remains the same throughout the entire song, so once we nail that down, you'll basically have it set for the rest of the song. And the chord progression is pretty straightforward as well. So let's do that. So first off, you're going to put your Capo or Capo, whatever, on the 3rd fret. Shift that. And our first chord is going to be a C chord. So that looks like if this is, the low E is your 1st string, the C chord, it looks like it opens 1st string, 3rd fret on the 2nd string, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, open string on the 4th, 1st fret on the 5th, it's right there, and then open on the 6th string. So let's just strum that, make sure it checks out. It's going to be our first chord. So first line is move on, they say. And from there, as we say in the song, we're going to shift to a G chord. That looks just like your G chord regular tuning. So our next chord was the G. It'll put us 3rd fret on the 1st string, 2nd fret on the 2nd string, open on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and then 3rd fret on the 6th string. So play that, make sure it checks out. And word of warning, when we actually start finger picking this, it's going to change a little bit, but the bass chord will still remain the same. For a little heads up as to what that will look like, it'll look like if you kept that regular G chord pattern like that, replace the 6th string with your pinky, and then put your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. So it makes it a little brighter. When we actually play, we'll remove two of these fingers, but just for the actual chord patterns that we know down the line, this is it. So let's play it. Move on, they say, you'll feel, and let's go to A, better. So with time, so that just looks like an open 1st string, an open 1st string, an open 2nd string, 2nd fret on the 3rd and 4th string, you want to use your middle and ring finger, and then 1st fret on the 5th string, and then open on the 6th. So that's open, open, 2nd, 2nd, 1st, open. Let's play it. The chord is actually a C minor, but it's an A minor with this capo placement. So from the top, we have move on, they say, you'll feel better, A. With time, let's play A again. And then for the next part, after those 4 chords, we shift to F. And what that looks like is you want to use your thumb. There's different ways you can do this. If you're comfortable with barring, you can bar the 1st fret and then kind of make not that pattern. Let's do this one's probably more comfortable with this one. So you can place your thumb on the 1st fret of the 1st string, then make almost like a C chord, but it's like you're taking the C chord, keeping the ring finger where it is on the first fret of the 5th string, and then instead of doing the C chord there, you're shifting your middle and ring finger 2 strings over. So what this looks like is, looks like 1st fret on the 1st string, open on the 2nd string, 3rd fret on the 3rd string, 2nd fret on the 4th string, 1st fret on the 5th string. It's kind of like a staircase. And then you can keep the last string open. Yeah. So, move on, they say, you'll feel better with time. But time alone. I changed it on you. So, one way to do it is to keep that pattern that I just showed you. You can also make it a little brighter by actually playing the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. So, but time alone, it sounds a little thin, so we can make it a little thicker by placing the ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So, but time alone can't heal this heart of mine. Go back to G. So that's actually kind of it for the chord progression. So let's run through it. Move on, they say, you'll feel better with time, but time alone can't heal this heart of mine. Okay. Let's do the finger picking. Yeah. So for the finger picking pattern, let's start out with the first chord, and this is really how the song opens up. It literally just has the first chord just playing the finger picking pattern that will repeat throughout the song, just on C. So make the C chord, which looks again like an open 1st string, 3rd on the 2nd string, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, open on the 4th, and then 1st fret on the 5th, and then open on the 6th. And then the finger picking pattern we're going to do is we're going to pluck the 2nd string with our thumb. Let me run it through once. So this is that first part. So this is 4 strings, okay? So our first string is going to be the 2nd string. Our first finger picking string is going to be the 2nd string. Then we're going to go to the 4th string with our index finger. Then we're going to pluck the 3rd string with our thumb. Then the 5th string with our ring finger. No, our middle finger, sorry. So just try that. Yeah, just that. So practice that for a little bit. Okay, and then the rest of the finger picking pattern for that part is just this, those last 3 notes basically, but just staggered. It's almost like it's missing the first thumb, basically. So what we have is it's like you cut out the first pluck, and then you play the last 3. So and try counting it too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's like the thumb was your 1, and you cut that out for the last 3 times you played it. So try that. Quick recap. So we're making our C chord, looks like that, and then we're playing the 2nd string, and the 4th string, and the 3rd string, and the 5th string, and then after that we just repeat those last 3 strings. Okay, so and then to transition back, you're going to want to basically find a way to get back to the 2nd string that you played with your thumb. And it's like you repeat the same pattern and then you just reinsert the thumb back there after like 3 times. So let's see what it is there. So it's a regular pattern, and then the triplet, then the triplet, and then here I change the triplet a little bit. I do. So So I'll alternate between the third and fourth strings. And then after that, I go back to the second string. So altogether, it looks like. Okay, one more time. And that's what kind of repeats throughout the whole song. So that's a finger picking pattern that opens the song, really, is we have C chord. So when you're saying it's going to be a little tough to time it with that, but it gets better with time. So let's go to the next chord. So when we actually say, move on, they say, when we strummed it, we just made the G chord, but I mentioned that we're going to change it a little bit by placing our ring finger there. And that's really the more important string, or one of the two more important strings that we want to play. So we're going to keep the same finger picking pattern as before. We're just going to change to that kind of different G chord that looks like second string, second fret. And then on the fifth string, we're playing the third fret. And you want to repeat the same finger picking pattern that we did before. So from the top. Move on, they say. Yeah. So it's like you kept the same finger picking pattern. So it's like you kept the same finger picking pattern. And you just changed the chord that you were playing. Okay. So let's repeat it like that, just to hear what it sounds like. Same pattern as before. We're doing second string, fourth string, third string, fifth string. So practice that change. Move on, they say. Change here. That's where you want to change. Yeah. And then when we went from C to G, now we want to go to A in the strumming pattern. And you're basically keeping the same finger picking pattern. Same as before, basically. So second, fourth, third, fifth. So let's do from the top. Move on, they say, you'll feel better with time. Okay. And then when we shift to the next verse, the next part of the verse, and we make that F chord, where we have our thumb on the first fret of the first string, then our ring finger and pinky on the third frets of the second and third strings. And then it's kind of like a staircase the rest of the way, where you have your middle finger on the second fret of the fourth string and your index finger on the first fret of the fifth string. And then your last sixth string is open. So you're basically keeping the same finger picking pattern as before, but you're shifting the thumb to the bass line at the bottom, to the first string. So from the top, that sounds like. Move on, they say, you'll feel better with time. And then we shift here. But time alone can't heal this heart of mine. Change it a little bit, let's try that again. But time alone can't heal this heart of mine. Okay. So what I'm doing there is I'm keeping the same finger picking pattern as before, except I'm like reinserting the first string back. So where we took it away before, we're gonna put it back. So the beginning looks like. But when we play it with the words, we're going to keep the thumb there. Move on, they say, you'll feel better with time. But time alone can't heal this heart of mine. once we finish with that G chord, where it's basically the same finger picking pattern as the last F chord, where we have our thumb on the first string, and we play as usual. We're first, fourth, third, fifth. Once we finish that, we basically go back to the original finger picking pattern for the next verse. So let's try that transition again. Move on, they say, you'll feel better with time, but time alone can't heal this heart of mine. You notice that that sounds like the beginning where we left the thumb out. So throughout the song, we're kind of switching between putting the thumb and keeping the thumb, or putting the thumb and taking it out. But as a good rule of thumb, when we're not singing, we usually leave the thumb out. So in the beginning, when we start out, we do. So notice that we left the thumb out. But when we play, especially with the F chord, with the second line, but time alone can't heal this heart of mine. So notice that when the guitar is playing, we usually don't, or when we're not singing, we usually don't play with it. That's pretty much the picking pattern for the whole song. Let's see if the chorus is any different. I saw time and tide slip by when I withdrew. So it's really not any different. The only thing that changes in that case is the chord progression. So when we start with the chorus, we're going to start with our F chord, where we have our first fret, first string, open second string, third on the third string, second fret on the fourth string, first on the fifth string, and open on the last string. I'm going to say, I saw time and tide. Go to C. And then we're going to go to G, but that G is going to look like what we've been doing, where the second fret on the second string and our pinky on the third fret of the fifth string. Or it can be your ring finger. I prefer the pinky. Yeah. So we're going to play that chord again. So when we do the chorus, it's going to sound like, I saw time and tide slip by when I withdrew. We're going to go to A there. Yeah. So our chord progression for the chorus sounds like F, C, G, but we're really only playing, we're fretting two strings with that chord, and then A, and then the repeats. I wandered far and wide without you. Then we don't play A there. Without you, we go back to C. Hope that kind of helps. Let's run through it one more time, maybe. So from the top, we're going to play, starting on we're going to do a C chord, and we're going to put our thumb on the second string, and go to the fourth, and third, and the fifth, okay? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Move on, they say, you'll feel better with time, but time alone can't heal this heart of mine. Then we repeat here. You can't go back, that's the only rule. The rules were meant to break when it comes to you. I saw time and tide slip by when I withdrew. I wandered far and wide without you. Without you. So yeah, that's basically the chord progression and finger picking pattern for my little arrangement of Time and Tide. Hope that clears some things up from the video. So, have a good day.